This is Harpreet Singh for Jesus News. Today's feature story is about Donald Trump Jr. exposing the radical left on Fox News after the second assassination attempt on his father. I have several observations about this situation. First, according to Ephesians 6:12, we do not battle against extremist people but against evil powers. Therefore, we must not attack the person but the powers behind the person. Jesus demonstrated this principle by accepting people without accepting their perversions. He loved the sinner but hated the sin. Second, according to Luke 4:1-13, during Jesus' temptation in the wilderness, he responded to the attacks of Satan with Holy Scripture and not with human strength. Therefore, we must not lower ourselves to using the human tactics of the enemy. Thirdly and lastly, we must remember that Jesus explains why the world hates us as it hated him in John 15:18 and 19, which is because we are not a part of the world and their progressive values, ideologies and worldview, as they are based on the devil himself, as he is described in Scripture as the God of this world who has deceived everyone in it. Check out this brilliant exposure of the radical left on Fox News by Donald Trump Jr.
Donald Trump Jr. is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization. It's good to have you back on the show, Don.
Good to be with you, Jesse.
The climate. They say it's your dad's fault, and they want him to stop talking so much. Is he going to stop?
No, he's not going to stop. He's going to keep fighting. The same resolve that he had in Butler, Pennsylvania, when he came back defiant after getting shot in the face. That's the resolve that kept our country safe. That's the resolve that kept dictators and our adversaries in check. Once that resolve went away, once that strength went away, the world went to hell in a handbasket, Jesse. And so the Democrats, their media lapdogs, they're going full desperation. They're trying to gaslight the American public, right? The same media that you talked about in your monologue that says, we really don't understand the political motivations of a guy that's a 19-time Democrat donor, a guy that has a Harris Biden bumper sticker on his car, a guy that's repeating the brainwashed pro-Ukraine quotes of the mainstream media every day saying literally democracy is on the line. How many Democrats have been tweeting that one? You know, imagine this was a MAGA hat wearing Republican doing this to a Democrat that was, pro-Ukraine. They'd lose their minds, Jesse. It would be the only story. In fact, the same people that are gaslighting the American people and lying that they can't figure out the motivation of a clear radical Democrat radicalized by their sound bites, by their hatred, by their talking points, the same breath, they blame my father and J.D. Vance for a bunch of hoax bombs threats. They pretend they're not hoaxes. Dana Bash, you probably saw Sunday. I think J.D. handled her perfectly, but you saw that. Then it turns out, from Governor DeWine, the governor of the state where this is going on, they're all hoaxes, and they happen to be called in from foreign adversaries. So foreign adversaries are literally capitalizing on the sound bites of the Democrats to try to sow discord, right? There's no retraction of that. There's no acknowledgement that they got it wrong. They will do whatever they can. These people are deranged, okay? It's all rhetoric, and they will do whatever they can to maintain power, Jesse. That's the problem.
How nervous are you about your father's safety? Because we just heard from the director of the Secret Service that Biden has now taken a keen interest in which assets your dad's security detail is allowed to have and not allowed to have.
Well, I'm glad it only took 2 assassination attempts, Jesse. I mean, You'd think by now, I'm getting, frankly, I tweeted about it yesterday. I'm sort of sick and tired of having to have that conversation with my 5 young children about a deranged left is clearly motivated by the sound bites of the radical left and the mainstream media shooting at their grandfather. That happened at a golf course. My daughter Kai plays there with him every weekend. They're scared about that. I shouldn't have to have that conversation in America in 2024, in anywhere in the civilized world. No one should. But it's 100% from them. In fact, within 24 hours of the shooting, how many of these media correspondents and, again, Democrat propagandists were out there talking about the threat that my father continues to pose? I mean, Hillary Clinton said it herself. She said he's a unique threat to democracy, I guess. But you know what? After 9 years of calling him a Nazi and a fascist and a dictator and Hitler and the greatest threat to democracy ever, what do you expect? You don't think this is intentional? They know exactly what they are doing, Jesse. They are doing it on purpose, and it has to stop. But it's not going to stop if we allow the regime to win. You see what we're up against, and any American can look at America today and say, hey, was I better off under Trump or am I better off today? And it's a no-brainer. There's not a single economic metric. There's not a single geopolitical metric where the world is better off today under Democrat rule. I understand that they've tried to forget that Kamala Harris has a long history of being a politician. They're pretending that her record started about 3 weeks ago when she basically was part of a coup to throw out and displace the Democratic elected head of their party. Minor details, but she is a radical San Francisco liberal. She is the daughter of a Marxist professor. She's not going to turn into a moderate simply because the media will tell us, but they will tell us whatever we need to hear to get us to vote for her. And then they will do whatever they want. If she's going to change her stripes, that'd be like me becoming soft as the son of a Trump. It doesn't work that way, Jesse. That's not how these people function. We have to know better, and we can't fall for it.
Well, now they're telling your dad he's got to stop golfing. Maybe he should take up your hobby, hunting. You think they want him walking
Jesse,
around?
Honestly, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Merrick Garland to indict my father for being part of an assassination. That's what's next.
It's a conspiracy.
Nothing would surprise me at this point. Yeah, he's part of the conspiracy. He may be the intended target, but they're going to try to throw him in jail for that anyway because they can't stop him in any other ways. They tried to impeach him twice. They tried to bankrupt him. They've tried to throw him in jail. And they insinuated all of this rhetoric to get some of the most radical people of their party. Unfortunately, that's becoming a lot more people to go after and literally try to kill him. Enough is enough. America doesn't have to go down this route, but it's going to continue. You think if they're going to stop, if they stop Trump, you don't think that every person watching this right now is ultimately in their crosshairs, their freedoms, their liberties, all of the things that they love about their country? That's all on the table this election, Jesse. That's why it matters. We can't have apathy. We can't sit it out. We can't let the nonsense get in the way. We have to understand what the Democrats are doing because they're saying it out loud. They're not pretending anymore, Jesse. They're saying it out loud. When someone tells you who they are, listen.
Yep, we believe them now. Donald Trump Jr., good to have you back on the show. Good to see you again. Thank you.